Binayakmovie! Stop the killing, stop the lies!
Free binayakmovie!
Stop the killing, stop the lies!
Free binayakmovie!
Stop the killing, stop the lies!
Free binayakmovie!
Free political prisoners! Release binayakmovie! Free political prisoners! Release binayakmovie! Free political prisoners! Release binayakmovie!
After spending 2 long years in Raipur Central Jail, human rights activist Dr. Binayak Sen finally walked free on Tuesday. His release comes a day after the Supreme Court granted him bail. Although Dr. Sen looked a relieved man, he said he still fears the Chhattisgarh government.
I think that the Chhattisgarh government has resorted to a lot of unfair practices in their confrontation with me so far, and that I anticipate that in the future confrontation also, since legal means have failed them, so illegal means may take their place.
Dr. Sen was greeted by his family members and supporters when he stepped out of the jail.
For me, his health is a priority because I've been very concerned for the last 2-3 months that the fact that he was unwell and he was diagnosed with angina and has an arterial block, and we don't know which arteries, how many vessels are blocked. So urgently, I think we need to concentrate on his health.
Dr. Sen is the Vice President of the People's Union of Civil Liberties. He was arrested on May 14, 2007 for his alleged links with Naxalites. He was accused of carrying letters for a senior Naxalite leader, Narayan Sanyal, a charge which he denies. Speaking on the Salwa Judoom, he said he would continue to oppose the movement. He contends that the state-sponsored initiative to fight Naxals has led to massive human rights violations.
Binayak Sen's arrest and imprisonment initiated a new debate on the issue of Naxalism, and this indeed will go a long way in redefining the subject of violation of human rights by the state and the security forces. With cameraman Arvind Sahu, Deshdeep Saxena, News X, Raipur. Dr. Binayak Sen's arrest created a furor world over. His movement seems to have got a fresh lease of life after his release. Dr. Sen says that he would continue to work as an activist of People's Union of Civil Liberties. After his release, we are here with Dr. Binayak Sen with some more questions. Welcome to News X, Dr. Sen. Well, coming back to the issue of Maoism or Naxalism, you know, people seem to have forgotten the real issue. We used to say that this is not a law and order problem, but this is an issue of, this is a socio-economic issue. What do you have to say? Have people forgotten the real issue? Because the hunger, the issue of exploitation, it is still going on.
While we have a widespread expropriation of the under the law of eminent domain, in which the state has ultimate ownership of all the natural resources including land, water and all other natural resources.
After your release, you said that you would continue to work in the country and Chhattisgarh also. But let me begin with your home state of Chhattisgarh. Is it not a difficult state for the civil society to work at?
Yes, Chhattisgarh is very difficult because there is widespread problems of structural violence in the society in Chhattisgarh, and also the problem of displacement, injustice, widespread injustice and displacement. There are large commercial interests at work in Chhattisgarh, and they are making every effort to tighten their hold over the natural resources in Chhattisgarh. So, and this has created a situation where there is widespread conflict over the issue of access to natural resources. So we have a deadly toxic mix of structural violence, injustice and conflict over access to natural resources. And this has created a situation in which there is a lot of conflict in the society in Chhattisgarh.
While you were in jail, a new movement was going on in Delhi, India Against Corruption. Anna Hazare was spearheading the movement. What is your take on it?
I was only in jail, I was only reading the newspapers and watching television. I was very interested in whatever was happening. But until I go and actually meet these people, many of these people are old friends of mine, until I actually go and meet them and talk to them, I cannot make any comments on this.
You said that you would continue to work. You know how difficult it is going to be, especially, you know, the charges of sedition. Will it not going to hurt you?
It's certainly a major relief for me, but there are thousands of people who are in exactly the same legal situation as the one in which I found myself in jail, and these questions regarding sedition, both the ones that were raised in the process of my bail by Justice Bedi and the ones that were raised a few days ago by Justice Katju in the Arup Bhuiya case, these are issues that are of fundamental importance, and the problem of this the way in which sedition is being used by the present rulers to suppress protest across the board, this has to come to a stop.
Even Mr. Moily says that such laws would be reviewed.
Yes, we are very grateful to Mr. Moily for his statement that these laws need to be reviewed, and I believe that if these laws are reviewed and more appropriate laws are put in their place, then that will really make a difference to the way in which civil society is able to function.
The PUCL had met for the last 2 days to consider the issue of sedition and similar laws which compromise our liberty. And we have agreed that we will all work together with a number of other human rights organizations, that we will work for the repeal of 124A, and we will carry out a signature campaign across the nation to get at least 10 lakh million signatures calling for repeal of 124A and other similar laws, and we will go and these signatures, the signed appeal with more than 1 million signatures, we will submit it to Parliament at some time in the near future. This is something that we hope to do. We have also decided to oppose the Armed Forces Special Powers Act, which again we hold to be destructive of democracy. And so this is the situation. These are the plans that we have made to oppose these draconian laws and restore democracy to our nation. In the meantime, the confrontation in the central India goes on apace, and we will all do our best to work for justice, peace, and